Hello, hi, and welcome to another episode of Israel Unleashed. Today I'm flying solo. Sorry, Ellie had other things to do, but he'll be back for other episodes. One thing I wanted to talk about is that I just baffled and I have to laugh sometimes at how people respond to what goes on in the Middle East. It's just amazing how many people have no idea whatsoever takes place or goes on in this place. I mean, I just constantly hear people take a one-sided view and they think that's the truth and that's what they should go with, and it's just something that kills me. I don't know what else to say, honestly. I think it's retardedly stupid, but it is what it is. But recently you have this Ben and Jerry's situation going on, and they want to get into the conflict, as they say, and basically take a side and ban ice cream in the West Bank and the Gaza Strip, and they don't want to sell it there. I mean, really, that's the most stupid. It doesn't help anybody, honestly. First of all, boycotting Israel, it doesn't help anybody. Honestly, if you're doing it from the West Bank and the Gaza Strip, you're only hurting the Palestinians. First of all, you're not hurting anybody in Israel whatsoever, which is another funny thing and stuff like that. I mean, I have to sit and laugh about that situation, but I mean, obviously, from what goes on in the Middle East and what's going on like around us and also inside of Israel, people have no clue. And the media produces one point of view, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? They don't realize the kind of damage that Russia's doing, or America's doing, or what terrorism itself is doing to people around here, and how it's destroying people's lives, and basically fanatic people are kind of trying to take over countries and rule them with dictatorships, and they're slaughtering people. I mean, obviously people don't seem to give two shits about that, which is like, it's disturbing. I'm like, really? I mean, people don't understand what good and evil is anymore. I mean, that's one reason why I have to sit and laugh about the situation, but it's not really laughable. It's not even funny. It's scary. You have people these days supporting people who do bad to people and want to do fucked up things to people and murder people and stuff like that, and nobody really has a word for that. Nobody confronts it. Nobody says nothing. I mean, back in the day when I was growing up, I mean, people, they confronted it and said things, and were very vocal about it. But nowadays, people, it's like communism's wonderful, and we should bring in socialism. I haven't seen it work in one country since it started. Over 100 years ago, and I haven't seen it work once. I haven't seen communism work. Controlling people and telling people what to do. I mean, obviously this is what governments do anyway. Put a title of communism and stuff like that over your head doesn't help the people who are living there. It makes them suffer like they. I mean, look at Cuba, for example. You got people in the last couple of weeks carrying American flags, and you got people that they want democracy, they want freedom, and they've never had it. They don't even know what it is. And then you got other people who are living out of a country who wants that kind of shit and doesn't even know anything about it, but they want to embrace it for God knows why. I mean, it's just a sign of ignorance, if you ask me. I mean, if it doesn't work for those people, what makes it think it's going to work for you? That's why I have to say I'm baffled about certain situations that people want to take on. You know, I mean, nowadays we're living with people who are somewhat stupid. They just want to yell at people and tell people how to live and how to act. I mean, before it used to be the government. They used to want to tell us and do that. Now it's people like you and me, everyday people, want to tell people how to live and how they should act and what they should believe in. I mean, if the government did do a good job in trying to teach you how to do it, I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else really. But we're living in strange times, that's all I can say. People don't know if it's day or if it's night. And what are we looking forward to and what's ahead of us? I mean, with this kind of thinking and this kind of actions, I have a loss for words. I don't even know what to say about it, honestly. I just know it not only intrigues me, it bothers me. People don't think with intelligence anymore. I mean, like, what happened to, like, common sense? Nowadays with kids, you don't see any of that. They have no idea even what the word means. And they don't even know what logic is, you know what I'm saying? They actually sit back and think about something and think logically about it. They don't even know what you're talking about, you know? I mean, they look at you like you're from some other planet. And the fact that, like, you know, you think like that and you don't think like them, oh, they have a problem with it. They want to go crazy on you, and then they want to teach you and re-educate you like some prison camp. You know, I mean, this is how they re-educated a re-education camp, and this is how they want to view you. You know. So, you know, I don't know. When I talk about the Middle East and stuff like that, I mean, you know, I've been here for 20 years. I watch what goes on. And, you know, nobody's perfect. You know, I love Israel. I have my whole heart behind it. I believe in what we're doing, and this is how, you know, I believe in this is how we need to survive in a very rough neighborhood. As I've said in last videos, I've seen, you know, the Middle East kind of dissipate in the last 20 years. One group of people go against the next people, another group of people try to erase another group of people. I mean, you honestly don't see that going on in Israel, no matter what they say on college campuses in America, and that's not going on here. It's going on in Syria, and Lebanon, and Iraq, and Iran, and Yemen, and Sudan, all these other places. I mean, you know, these aren't something new. I mean, I don't know. People aren't paying attention to what's really going on in the news? I guess not. Or maybe I just see a whole other side that these people don't see. But, you know, I mean, you know, the other day, 2 days ago, we had rockets come from Lebanon and stuff like that, which I doubt you're going to see on the news, you know. No one's going to care to say anything about that going on because, you know, they can't blame us. It's come down to that, honestly. You can't blame us, then it's not news anymore. Once you can blame us and we can extort the hell out of that situation, and we can blame the Israelis and the Jews, then you'll see that on the news all day long, every day for weeks on end. But if you don't have any news to report like that, then you won't see it on the news whatsoever. Needless to say, you know, the situation going on in Lebanon is deteriorating, and, you know, a terrorist organization called Hezbollah is running the whole country. And obviously, eventually it's going to spill over to here, and the situation is going to take place, and something's going to happen from it, and maybe this is the way we need to go because this is God's will. Who knows? But I have faith in it, whatever. What will be, will be. But, I mean, this is what's going on, and, you know, it's not us that's to blame, you know what I mean? This is their country. That was their government. They obviously didn't run things the way they needed to, and look at the situation. It's crumbling daily as we go along here. Even as I speak, it's crumbling, and there's fighting in the streets. They're not showing you on TV because they don't. It's not news, at least to us, or to you. But I'm watching it carefully, and I'm keeping close because, you know, I live on the battlefield, man. And once rockets start to fire like they did the other night, they land in my area or around the country here, all over the country, God forbid. But this is what happens. This is the reality we live in. And honestly, if we wouldn't protect ourselves and defend ourselves, I guess I wouldn't say anything. But this is the reality on the ground here. We have people. I've yet to see once where any Arab in this region has remotely wrote down on a piece of paper that they want to do peace, they want to make a deal with us, they want to give us this, they want to, you know, I've yet to see in my lifetime, or since this situation's even taken place, one Arab ever come and say that he wants to make peace with us. I live amongst many Arabs, and there are Arabs that, yes, they want to have peace with you because there's no point in fighting sometimes. Eh? I mean, you know, when you're young and you're dumb and, you know, you have nothing to lose and you don't care, then, you know, you fight with people, man. But as you get older and you get wiser and you have understanding about certain things and you try to question certain things, and you realize that sometimes fighting just doesn't get you anywhere, you know what I mean? But look, we live in a neighborhood where people want not only to destroy us, they want to wipe us out. And then talk about it daily, and not even anybody says a word about that. I mean, yeah, that bothers me. Someone wants to, I mean, they don't know me. They want to wipe me out. They want to kill my family, my children, my neighbors, people I don't even know. They want to wipe them out like they didn't exist. I mean, that doesn't bother somebody on a normal, like, logical level. It bothers me. And nobody even questions these people. They listen to what they say, and they take a one-sided view from these exact same kind of people. And, you know, they go with it. And they want to do boycotting, like, you know, like, what is it? We were back in 1930 and the Nazis are taking power. I mean, this is pretty much the exact same tactics that the Nazis had against us, boycotting us, running our businesses down, and beating up people. I mean, you're seeing it in America left and right. Anti-Semitic attacks are like, you know, 300% plus. I mean, that's just ridiculous. People are looking for people to blame. And who do they blame? They want to blame the Jews because I guess we're the easiest people to blame. And it's disturbing, but this is the world we live in. I mean, if I can change things, I'm definitely going to try to do my best. But hopefully, I get through to people and whatever, and people change their views and their outlook upon us. Because Israel's not the bad guy all the time, and the Palestinians aren't the bad guy either all the time either. They just got shitty fucking leaders who constantly get money. Not only money, they get billions of dollars, and they don't give it to anybody else. They give it to themselves, and they take care of the little things, and that's it. The corruption is running rampant through these places. They don't care about their people. They don't care about the struggle. They don't care about having a state. Why would you have a state? I mean, really, if I'm giving you billions of dollars, you're building a mansion with pools and all sorts of stuff, and you and the people who are in charge of taking all the profit and the money from it. I mean, yeah, so you pay people to kill people because, that's the only way to make people, submit to you and love you because this is what you do. But this is the reality on the ground. This whole Ben and Jerry's thing the other day with we're going to boycott Israel and stuff. I mean, and Roger Waters constantly coming out and saying hateful stuff that he did. He's not an anti-Semite, but yeah, he's constantly saying hateful stuff for years and threatening people not to do shows here and come here and stuff like that because of the whole Palestinians. I mean, there are Palestinians that want to live in peace. Just like you and me. Not all of them want war constantly and stuff like that. The reality on the ground has been that, Islam itself, as its general, wants to take over all of the Middle East. And Israel's in the way. And their charter has been to kill us and wipe us out and basically overrun us since day one. It hasn't changed. Times might have changed. The way terror tactics are run through it have changed. But the story, the reality, nothing's changed. It's still the same. And, the fact that they want other people outside of the country to be sympathetic to their cause and basically take a side, which I see a lot of us doing the same thing in America and stuff like that, which is ridiculous because it's not your fight. It's not your fight whatsoever. You're getting involved in something that has nothing to do with you, and really you shouldn't have any decision about how it affects you. Because it's never going to affect you, and it does anything to you. But because this whole woke culture and how we view Islam, and then we're not allowed to talk about Islam, especially bad about Islam, because God forbid, you know what I mean? Talk about it bad about somebody. They've never done nothing, but I mean, really, they have a violent culture. They've always had one. You had Barack Obama years ago saying it was a religion of peace. I know no religion that's a religion of peace. Christianity, Judaism, Muslims, none of this shit is religion. Has ever been through history about peace, trust me. So I don't know where that guy got that from and whatever, but I mean, we live in a sick world, man. And the way people carry themselves and run themselves and how people act. There's no love, there's no respect, and there's always the same people who are greedy and want more money, that want to stoke the hatred and get people to continue to do bad things to one another, you know what I mean? And it ain't going to bring upon a state. It isn't going to bring peace because we obviously know, we don't know what peace even is. None of us have ever had. In the whole world time frame of all of history, there was only 240 years of documented peace. And that's by far gone, and we ain't going back to that unless we all come together and make peace. Obviously, in order for us to make something happen, it needs to come from within, from all of us. Not just from them, not just from us, it needs to come from everybody. This is the only way you're going to have peace in this world, man. And it doesn't need to just take place here. It needs to take place worldwide because, this isn't the only conflict or war or anything going on. There's others going on in Asia and Africa and South America. I mean, there's at least 10 going on at a time. And there always has been, and nothing's changed. And, the fact that people want to take one-sided views and basically talk about how Israel's such a bad place. I mean, I could sit back and tell you how Iran has done all sorts of things over years of time since they've become into power, and they're a terrorist government, and they believe in taking over the Middle East and starting an empire. I mean, like Turkey's no different. It's the same view over there. The guy wants to bring back the Ottoman Empire, which has been gone for over 100 years. Iran wants to do kind of the same thing, but their own empire. And they got time. They're not in a hurry to start wars today, but eventually they will. Eventually, we'll have to face the day. Not just us, the rest of the world will have to face the day. Yeah, obviously, you see in America right now, they're pulling out of the Middle East. I mean, they're making a complete situation in Afghanistan, where once they leave, the hours after they leave, not even the day after, hours after they leave, you're going to see that place crumble. And then you're going to see a situation go between Pakistan, Russia, and Iran, and all those people surround this country. And it's obviously it's going to affect here too, because this is how the Arab world works. The one place starts a little fire, the whole fire explodes. But on the other hand, you see also in the country, the Palestinians themselves using the Temple Mount as a way to inflame a situation. When people who are just casually going up with their families, walking around the temple area, and they're not even allowed to pray, because if they pray, they go to jail. They're just walking around, and then they leave peacefully. And you got Hamas and the Palestinian Front, the PLO, and all these other people extorting the situation, saying how they want to bring down the mosque and all this stuff. Whatever. We don't need to bring down the mosque. Obviously, God will do that himself, man. As it says in the Torah, that the third temple is going to come from the sky and land. But that's not even going to come from us. It's going to come from God. So I don't understand why these people are afraid of us, and why they're trying to make like a religious war out of the situation. I mean, this is the constant situation going on in all of the Middle East. It's not just them. Iran wants to do the same thing. You got the same people going. The Taliban, same thing. Al Qaeda, the same thing. Terrorist organizations, they might not have the same views, but they work the same way. You know what I mean? And they don't change how they believe. They might change their tactics, but their beliefs are their beliefs, and it's like set in stone. They go with it forever. You know what I mean? Until you destroy them. Evil, you need to destroy, because there's nothing good ever coming out of that. There's no peace coming out of the Taliban whatsoever, as you're going to see coming up within the next month or so. There's no peace coming out of Hamas. There's no peace coming out of Hezbollah. And there's no peace coming out of Iran. Especially their daily plan that you're not seeing is them taking over one country after the next and infiltrating governments and tearing them down. I mean, Lebanon's a perfect example. How they got into power there and used their tentacles from there to run this place. And these got people starving in the streets. No gasoline. They're running out of all sorts of things, daily needs that they need. And the terrorist groups are sitting back and waiting for the situation to explode so they can extort the shit out of it. And Iran is the main problem in all this situation. I see Israel obviously asking them if they want humanitarian aid, that they'll give it to them, which is great, because this is the kind of people we are. We give. We help. This is what it says in the Torah to do. And we are the people of the Torah. We try to live this way, because this is how God intended us to live. What will be, will be. One day, hopefully, there will be peace in the Middle East, but hopefully we don't have to go through such bad things to get there. But this is pretty much the road we're looking at, and we have no choice, and this is how it's going to be. And, honestly, if we came together as a whole, we wouldn't have to go down that direction, but obviously people don't think like you and me and are logical and have common sense, obviously. They just want death and destruction, like it's going to serve them some sort of purpose in life, because in the end we realize it's not. We've gone through enough wars in life, no matter how many wars in this last century, or this last 100 centuries. It's never solved anything, it's never done anything, it's never done anything good. Yes, countries evolved from it and whatever, but that doesn't mean that something good's come out of it. But until we understand, until we learn, we're going to have to go the hard way, man. And we're going to have to go and basically do some bad shit in order to understand what good shit is, man. And hopefully we get to the good shit, because people have honestly had enough of the bad. As if we haven't got enough, especially within the last year with Corona, and now you have a new virus called the norovirus coming out of England and stuff. I mean, it's too much to handle sometimes. There's nothing positive whatsoever on the news that you're going to see every single night. You know what I mean? It's nothing but one negative story, one death story after the next, and you got certain people saying this is like the greatest thing that ever happened to us, like since white bread or something like that. It's not. These people are fucking delusional. These are people who want to take on people who are bad and root them like, they're the evil guy in the movie, you know what I mean? this is what life has come to today, and this is the problem with living in these times. Having to deal with these kind of people and this kind of thinking, this warped thinking, and trying to survive through all this, because you need to be strong, because sometimes words affect you, and they can make you or break you. But if you're not strong, you're going to let these people scare you. They want to fear you. They want you to fear them. Sorry. And I don't fear them. I don't want rockets falling on my head and stuff like that. I've lived through that more than once, and it's not a pretty situation, especially with alarms going off. And now that I have children, I not only have to protect myself, I have to protect them. And who knows if even I can do that, man, because, these people want to destroy you. And I'm not, I've never done nothing wrong with these people. I don't have anything bad feeling against them, even because they think like this. I just want to live in peace. I want a normal life like everybody else, you know what I mean? And I'm praying that one day that happens, but until then, it's not. And this is the reality I have to live through every single day. Even Ellie, when he was with me, he has to deal with the same thing, and the people who live around us. And I guess in order for something bad and good to happen, you have to. In order for something good to happen, you have to have something bad happen. I guess this is just how we live. This is how we understand things and stuff like that. They realize that eventually bad things aren't good for us, and we should have done something then, but we still have yet to learn from that. Hopefully we get to that point and we make something like that happen, because I'm dying for that to happen. Common sense and the reality of normalness, wow, that'd be just a whole other world to live in, huh? That we're not used to here lately, because you got such warped people think that this is such a good thing, and that's not such a good thing because we lived through this. I mean, really? Whatever. Hopefully I can get through some people sometimes and educate them, and I give them my thoughts and explain to about the situation here, because I have no problem talking about it. A lot of times you have people on the news who have no idea what's going on here. They just see what's on the news and that's all they know. But there's a lot more going on than that. And if you have a question or whatever and you want me to ask, I'll be more than happy to answer for you, because I'm not scared to answer for you, because I show you the reality we live in, man, and it's not as pretty as you think it is, or how bad you think it is too. It depends on it depends on each individual how they look at it. But on the other hand, there's an answer for everything, and there's an understanding for everything, and not everybody is perfect, but we have a long way to go. But definitely warring with each other isn't the way, and it's not gonna fix the situation here. Obviously, living here for years has made me understand that, man. Especially, I realize that the Arabs need us more than we need each other as equally. We live with each other no matter what. I mean, even if we hate each other, we still have to live with each other, and we still have to show some sort of respect and deal with each other on a daily level. And we do that here, surprisingly. It's a side that you don't see. But hopefully one day you do see. But it's important, I guess, if you want to come here and see for your own eyes how the situation is. But we're living in such a bad place, we have to protect ourselves from evil people, and there's many evil people who live in the Middle East. It's over 5,000 years of conquest and dictatorships and all sorts of stuff right around us, from before Bible times to Bible times till now. So, to pick a side is ridiculous, because good and evil are fighting each other here. Is Israel perfect? No, but if you ask me, they're the best part of the whole neighborhood here, man. As you see with the Abraham Accords, we definitely try to make peace with all our friends that we never were able to make peace with in the past. And we're sharing information with them, and technology and health and all sorts of stuff and aspects of life to better their life. And they see that, and obviously the situation that happened over a month ago in Gaza with them shooting rockets and us firing back at them and whatever didn't change a thing. Peace is still on the table. It's still going strong, even though America is trying to sidetrack, T-bone it and sidetrack it and cancel it, which is another retarded thing. I don't understand why America's coming from, but they're trying to work both levels of that game and whatever. But I mean, peace, man. If you have it, grab a hold of it, man, and never let go of it. Because, once it's gone, it ain't coming back. And the best thing to do is basically move forward. Because what's gone on here for the last 80 years hasn't changed. bring upon a two-state solution. If it didn't work then, it ain't going to work now. And, you know, it isn't going to bring peace either, you know what I'm saying? But it needs to come between us and them, not from you guys. You guys can help, guide us, give us wisdom and strength and knowledge and stuff like that, and teach us to better our ways and move forward. But the situation of leaders and people who are corrupt into power, they're not doing that. Their goal is to continue that badness and that evilness and that destruction. And that's the last thing any of us ever want to see, because once, you know, there's none of us left, there's no point living anymore because there's no life. Life's important. And the people should understand that. Life is precious. It's not something you throw away. And it's not something you give up. There are tough times. We all have problems. We all have our battles. But, you know, you need somebody sometimes to help you along the way, grab you by the hand and take you. And we need more of that. We need someone who's going to give us wisdom. We're going to give us knowledge. We're going to give us... They're going to be in our corner the way we need them to be. And everybody and everything. This is how we're going to achieve what we need to achieve. Until then, the wheels rolling and moving closer and closer to a war none of us want. And eventually the situation in Egypt and Lebanon will collapse, and the war will start, and the whole Middle East and the rest of the, maybe God forbid, the rest of the world will be involved. Because we already know, we already know a certain event's going to happen, and it's going to affect everybody. How it's going to get to that point depends on us, and it's important how it depends on us. Either you can go this way or you can go that way. Hopefully you take the right way, because if you take the right way, it avoids everything that happened the left way. So hopefully we can get to where we need to be, and hopefully one day we can have peace and stuff like that. But until then, it's going to take a lot from us to work on ourselves and better ourselves, and be the people we need to be the humans we need to be. Hopefully we get to that point sooner than later, because times are ticking, and God's test for us is judging every single day. And if you're being judged every single day and you're not fixing you, then you're not fixing the world either. So hopefully we get to that point. Much love to all of you. Hopefully you enjoyed my solo act today and stuff like that. And hopefully the next video Ellie will be back. And hopefully we'll talk about many other things. I'm looking forward to it, and I really enjoy it. And much love to all of you. Hopefully you all have a great day. Anyone out there need a hug and kiss, I'll be more than happy to give it to you. Much love from me to you. From Israel Unleashed. Have a nice one.